Welcome to the Philosopher Explorer. My name's Kia, and this is another thoughtcast. We're going to be looking at stillness. Is it the same as quietness and motionless? It's no place for answers. It's just a place for big questions and for us to wrestle with the ideas that come with the thoughts. So stick around, grab yourself a cuppa, and put your thinking cap on. Let's dive into it. Today I'm going to pop out and have a little bit of a chill day, actually go to the antique store, not to particularly look to find any item to buy or take home, just to have a browse. And the way I saw it, way I would try to describe it is how someone can get lost in a good book. The antique store, it's like a library without words, really. You go there, each piece has their own story that has lived possibly longer than yourself, possibly more exciting than your own. And for that reason, you can sort of step outside of your own timeline and into theirs for just a moment. Yeah, I suppose that's where you might feel that bit of stillness, because it's like time has stood still for a moment while you forget about your own timeline. So the chat goes on to say, that's a mint way to frame it, a library without words. I don't know if that hit for yourselves. Let me know in the comments. He says, hang on though. Let's stay on this one for a second. When you say you're stepping out of your timeline, right? Do you mean like forgetting who you are for a bit? Or more like stepping out of your own narrative? Like the pressure of it, the decisions, the future? Goes on to say, because when I felt that kind of stillness, like proper stillness, it's not always peaceful. Sometimes it's like being in a dream where no one needs you, and that one can be a bit eerie, can't lie. So are you seeing the stillness as a comfort, or is it more like a pause from being the main character? What's the real buzz when you're in there? It would be stillness in the sense that you're not so engrossed in your own timeline. You're not eaten up by your own past decisions or, future needs. You're there in the moment, like you can be there in a book with the imagination of the picture the author tries to paint. You get to see these objects that's lived with people for 20, 30 years, something like that, where it had real meaning to these people. That's what it's really about, isn't it? Seeing the history and the stories behind them, and stop being so engrossed with your own life, because we can get so caught up with what is needed out of us or the things that have happened, that to find moments of stillness, I think they can sometimes creep up on you and you didn't expect them, and you just step into a moment that is peaceful, that is still, it's quiet with all the noise around you. And other times it's a case where you could curate it. You can think, well, where am I going to find stillness? And you go there ritually, not in a sense to always be still or always be at peace. Sometimes you won't, but you can put yourself in the place and it can sometimes find you. Chat reckons we've nailed on something there, the way we can go to stillness even if you don't get stillness every time. Like the act of seeking it is part of the ritual. But here's the question he wants to ask us. Do you think stillness like that actually lives in them places? Or is it just easier for us to let our guard down in them? Like antique shops, libraries, old churches, do they create the stillness, or do they just remind us we've had it in ourselves the whole time and we've been too busy chasing shit to feel it? Because part of us must be built for that stillness, surely, or we wouldn't crave it so much. But then again, You walk into one of them places and it's like your shoulders drop without even realizing. So what do you reckon? Do them places hold the stillness, or just help us meet it again? Likely a little bit of both. The place holds the stillness because we've curated stillness to be within those places. So, churches, libraries, antique shops, in your own secluded side of the world. It probably is because it is your little corner of the world that's having a little peace. I think that's why people like them. You go into a library, you have to keep it down. You go to a church, you have to stay moderate and watch your language and what you talk about. Same with antique shops to an extent. Depending where you go, on the vibe. If it's a bit of a snazzy, jazzy antique shop, you might be a bit more hustle bustle, but I prefer a bit of a slow, quiet lane. But then you got to think if you're in that place for more than just, half an hour or an hour or two, would it really be stillness and peace, or would it be endless torture of endless hours, of fucking not being able to get out of there? If it was your work, would it be different? You are right, our shoulders do drop when we walk into those places. As I mentioned, it's because we curate the atmosphere for it. You create a confident atmosphere, like you go into a library or a store that wants you to relax, and they'll have sofas and maybe offer you a brew. So here's the real question, I believe: is stillness found in places or made from people? Right, ChatGPT's given up on us, so I think that's my sign. We'll call this one here, but it's been a fun little deep dive, and I'm sure he'll keep up a little bit better next time. If you did enjoy the video, like, follow, share, and I'll see you in the next one.